Happy mid-morning, guys. All right, and it continues. A couple of weeks ago, I was telling you about the German government telling the German public to stock food and water in preparation for blackouts. Yeah, now it's getting a little further. Like I said, so goes Germany, so goes the rest of Europe. Guys, this is potentially coming to wherever you live, whether it's the US, Canada, pick anywhere in Europe, whatever it would be. This is what's going on. Austria came out about 36 hours ago and unveiled their emergency measures to secure food and other essentials for people in the event of a winter blackout. Okay. This was posted on Austria's Ministry of Agriculture, Regions, and Tourism website. All right. If and when a blackout hits Austria, and I want you to think about this because this will be the same way it's going to be done anywhere else, you can figure. If and when a blackout hits Austria, on the first day, all grocery stores are to close. Period. All right? And you can pretty much bet that there is going to be security on all of them to prevent looting. Mind you this, every grocery chain in Austria has signed on to this plan. Just saying. We'll probably see the same thing here if this comes about. On the second day, the stores are to remain closed, but act as food distribution centers where bags of fresh fruit and fresh vegetables will be given to residents. Okay? And they'll be able to go between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock. On the third day, only dry products, canned goods or rice or something like that, will be offered. All right? The stores will also provide prepared grocery bags with water, bread, canned goods, convenience products, meaning obviously deodorant or toothpaste or whatever, and candles that will be sold for cash. Now, if this doesn't remind you of, I don't know, say the Soviet Union, I don't know what will. But at this point, this is when the governments, or the government here, potentially governments, will now take over the control of privately or publicly held grocery stores. They have, again, you want to talk about what globalism is, what communism, what socialism is. Okay, what everything's being pushed upon us, and I've talked about this many times, is when you're talking about the New World Order, what Klaus Schwab wants, the World Economic Forum, is a partnership between government and corporations. That's exactly what this is. The government is going to tell the grocery store, this is what you are allowed to give to the people. This is when you are allowed to do it. Mrs. P has told me countless stories about her parents standing in line for a loaf of bread and then go getting in the next line and standing in line for a pound of butter and then go get into the next line and stand in line for tomatoes or whatever it would be. Okay? That's what this is. They're talking about day one, closed. Day 2, they're going to give you fresh produce. Day 3, canned goods and dry goods only. Day 3. Think about that. The Austrian government has now come up and told all their citizens to make sure they have 14 days worth of food stocked. Y'all know as well as I do, 14 days ain't squat. That's a normal grocery run, okay? Most people get paid every 2 weeks, and most people go grocery shopping every 2 weeks, okay? Payday's on Friday, and that's why the grocery stores are packed on Saturday, because that's one of the first things people go and buy is their food till the next paycheck. They're also recommending that the Austrian people keep small denominations of cash. Gee, where have we heard that before? I get a kick out of this one. Of around 100 euros per family member. Okay, so if you're a household of four, 400 euros. All right, I still think that's way low, but again, it's still something. 100 euros right now is about 100 bucks. All right, it's not going to get you too far, especially with the price of groceries, because like I said earlier, all your groceries have to be paid for in cash. But no power means no ATM machines, means no banks open, etc., etc. This is what Europe is going into, guys. I mean, today is the 1st of December. We aren't anywhere near, I mean, and it's cold, okay? And now it's cold in Europe again, okay? And there's supposed to be a huge front moving through Greenland into Europe, and they're supposed to hit a freeze here in the next few days. We all know what the weather is like here. Some of you guys were saying it this morning at 24 degrees in Middle Tennessee. I know it's supposed to get down in the teens here, I think tonight, here for me. That's cold for Tennessee. Our average winter temperature is 40. It's December 1st. It ain't even winter yet, okay? But with everything going on with the gas from Russia, and just to give you this, okay, and I can use German numbers here. Germany gets 55% of their gas. Now, again, I'm talking about Germany, not Austria, but just so you have an idea. Historically, Germany gets 55% of their gas from Russia. Right now, they are getting 9% of their gas from Russia. Okay? That's what they use to power the country, to heat the country. You're seeing all these stories all over the place about emergencies trying to get coal plants back up and running. Okay? It's not like you go flick a light switch and the coal plant is running again. This is where they are. Europe, most countries in Europe are saying they have enough gas, they hope, to get through the winter, okay? With their, you hear all the stories from the media, their reserve tanks are full. If they used everything in the reserve tanks, that accounts for 26% of the fuel that they use in an average winter. They need those reserve tanks filled 4 times. If a blackout happens, even where you are, okay, whether you're in Buffalo, New York, oh, I don't know, you just got 6 feet of snow, whether you're in Dallas, Texas, gee, remember what happened to you guys a couple of years ago, okay? If a blackout happens and this kind of stuff is implemented, where the grocery stores are only open day 2, and you're allowed to get fruits and vegetables. Day 3, you're allowed to get canned goods. Go stand in line. Now, mind you, standing in line isn't parked in your car, keeping the heat. This is standing outside in 24-degree weather, whatever, for, like Mrs. P said, hours in line, waiting for your turn to go get your tomatoes and your carrots and your potatoes. That's what is potentially going on in Europe, guys. And I say it all the time. Watch what happens in Europe, because that's what's going to come here. The U.S. is not under any significant threat other than New England of blackouts, at least none that I've heard of, okay? New England is sketchy at this point. Austria is saying that it's not imminent, but it's possible that they're going to go through. But when governments start coming out and saying, and have plans already written down that the groceries have agreed to do, what do they know that we don't? We don't hear anything about this in the United States, but I can guarantee you there are plans that are probably exactly the same. Make sure your pantry's stocked, make sure you have water, make sure you have cash, make sure you have firewood, make sure you have a backup heat source, whatever it would be. They shut off the power, and Austria is telling you right there they expect chaos within 72 hours. Pinball out.